history. This is a series that dates back quite a ways. The Valley's as packed as it could be. Almost every team, top to bottom, separated by about 2 games in a one-bid league. So, Tim, this February, if we get into it here, it's going to be a lot of fun. As Fane gets us underway with a bucket.
I talked about the hook right away, and to force him to his right hand. When he's able to get over that right shoulder with the left hand, as good as it gets, not just in the Valley, in all of college basketball.
Talking with Greg Lansing yesterday, he thinks the ceiling is very high for this Sycamore team. He thinks that this month, working its way down into March, thinks they might be primed and ready to roll come tournament time. Late in the shot clock here. Do they recognize it? Rickman, yes he does, ties it up.
Get out your yellow pen and pen if you're a middle school coach right there, because that was a passing clinic. And that was what Greg Lansing was telling us. He wants to take better care of the basketball, move the ball more, did a great job against Valpo on 8 turnovers.
How about Malik Yarbrough stepping in, drilling the 3?
He starts making that shot.
Rickman wanted it down low. That zone didn't let the ball get inside. He's got Yarbrough hounding it. Look at that battle in there. They try to get it in. Yarbrough gets a hand on it. And again, inside of 5. Barnes has to just hoist one up.
Barnes has really struggled in conference play. He's shooting over 20% from 3, but when you get the ball in those opportunities, Darren, you're kind of stuck. He has had a tough time getting going. Only 4 points last out against Valpo as well. He's got 5 games of 20 plus or more in non-conference play.
A bit of a hesitation, then all the way to the rim, and it curls home. Keyshawn Evans is on the board. The Redbirds have scored on their first 3 possessions here, and they've been hounding the Sycamores on this end.
Indiana State likes to run motion offense, tons of ball movement, a lot of ball screens. You got to communicate on the defensive end.
A little baby hook there on the drive from Barnes. State coming in off a loss to Bradley. Big time rivalry. But Bradley was towards the bottom of the league. Greg Lansing thinks that this group, he said, man, I really like them. I like that win over Valparaiso. I think that this is going to give us the momentum that we need. He said, I think we're going to be pretty good. I said, yeah, next year? He said, no, right now and turning into March.
Well, that was an electric atmosphere down in Terre Haute when they hosted the Loyola Ramblers. That was the game where Loyola shot over 50% from the field, but Indiana State gave Loyola all it could handle. And the next game, Loyola goes out there and scores 35 against Missouri State.
That's the wild thing about this Missouri Valley Conference right now. It is just so topsy-turvy. There are odd results, and that's something that Dan Muller is well aware of. He said, man, you just never know how your guys are going to play on any given day. How are we going to bounce back from Bradley? I forgot we could look that bad.
They gave 85 points. That was a game they mixed zone and man and just had a tough time guarding Bradley all together.
Well, this is going to help them because offensively right now they are clicking on all cylinders. Evans now has 5.
Evans has been searching for that jump shot the last couple of months. Coaching staff told us he's making them in practice. It just wasn't translating to the games.
Chastain up in traffic for the board. Wouldn't it be nice to get Keyshawn Evans really going again? Here's Fane. He's got that matchup, and he just bodies his way in on Kessinger.
And I'm so worried about him going to that left-hand hook that the senior from Cali turns right. That was easy as can be.
Couldn't ask for a better start for the Redbirds. They've hit all 5 of their shots. Lead it by 8 here before the under 16. Holston got a nice first step and got Yarbrough in the air, put the ball on the ground again.
We talked about Keyshawn Evans. He has had trouble finding his jumper all year long. When we talked to Dan Muller, he said, I thought we were going to be an offensive team. And we're still searching for that identity. Who are we right now? You see the lefty Fane, when he turns right, he gets that move down. He's going to be unstoppable in the Valley.
You know, it's hard for me to believe. Fane didn't play basketball until junior year in high school. He looks way too polished for that.
Indiana State is the first possession. They show 2-3 zone.
And Copeland jacks the three over it. First time Indiana State's held the Redbirds off the board.
I expect to see that zone a little bit more.
Here's Williams now, stepping back over Evans.
He's 6 of 14 from 3 coming into that. His 7th made 3, but he shot that ball with confidence, didn't he?
Percentage-wise, it's a good look, over 40. Back into that zone, it's Chastain with some room in the corner.
Greg Lansing going to be happy about his defense there, forcing perimeter jump shots after Illinois State got off to a quick start.
Ball comes and doubles Williams. There's Tyree Key, yet to get a shot off, so he'll take one to the hoop and earn a couple of free throws.
Indiana State coming off.
And Indiana State jumped back into a zone. And that seemed to slow down the Redbirds offense. Here's Tyree Key now coming in off a great game. 22-point effort against Valpo. He's averaging 20 and a half in his last 2 games. Darren Goldwater and the all Big Ten performer Tim Doyle with you. We're in Normal, Illinois. As the Redbirds try and battle their way towards the top of the Missouri Valley Conference, and Indiana State tries to stay towards the middle of that pack. A league that isn't separated by more than really 2 games, top to bottom. Chastain high up, kicks it right on back to Copeland. Now it's Chastain from the wing. He earned it. Chastain isn't known much of a scorer. He's an energy guy. He's a rebound guy, an athlete. Williams able to set his feet. He's got the 3 right back over Chastain.
That's 2 threes so far for Christian Williams, and scary thought he starts getting in an offensive rhythm. Had a big game earlier this year against Bradley where he had 18 points and 11 rebounds. He could score in bunches.
Our team shooting the 3 well here early in the first half. Kessinger is in the game for Rickman, who started. He defends Fane well.
Excellent job there by Kessinger, sitting on that left hand, is able to get a piece of that. Indiana State is known for its motion offense, so it's a constant passing, screening. You really have to communicate on the defensive end. Greg Lansing in his 9th season has these guys all on the same page, coming off their most impressive win in conference play when they beat up on Valpo.
Valpo was tied for the league lead when it happened. He turns it over.
This has been a tough valley to figure out, where it seems like literally anybody can beat anybody on any given night. You see Dan Muller, who played here at Illinois State, scored over 1,000 points. He's in his 7th year here, knows the Valley as well as anybody. And I got a chance to see Loyola in person earlier this week, and they scored 35 points. That's right, folks. They had 8 rebounds the whole game, and they got beat up by Missouri State.
2 rebounds in the second half. It's hard to comprehend how that happens to a team of Loyola's stature. But it shows you the depth of the league. Freshman travels on the inside.
I really like Dana Ford, the new head coach at Missouri State. I think he's one of the best young, bright minds. And his personality at Missouri State, he's going to attract some players down there. Obviously, a great facility in Springfield. This could be a really nice fit for a basketball program that's had a lot of tradition. Now, Illinois State, they go 2-3 zone, as we see Indiana State so far mix up their defenses.
This is a game built for you, watching the coaches go back and forth. Question for Indiana State, can they get Jordan Barnes on track? It's a slow go for him recently. He'll launch a 3, and it's well off the mark.
Yeah, over Valley play, talked about Barnes, who had 5 games of 20-plus points or more in non-conference play. He's had 0 20-plus point games in conference play. In the last game, arguably his worst game of the season, even though the team played great, he only had 4 points against Valpo.
Wasn't looking for a shot. He only took 5 of them as Evans steps in and he drills the 3. You're talking about early on one of the better 3-point shooters in Illinois State history.
He struggled mightily finding that shot, and the coaching staff told us that he makes them in practice. It just wasn't translating over to the game.
Well, it's translating today. He's hit a couple of 3s. There's the answer, which Indiana State has come with a few times today. That's from Tyreek Key. Key shooting 51% from 3. Evans feeling it.
You think there was a heat check?
Maybe a little bit. Decent shot. Look at this. Coast to coast goes Williams, and he draws the foul.
We got a good one here in the Valley. In Illinois State, they've kind of made that adjustment. They've gotten more aggressive against the zone of Indiana State.
They've got a nice start here from Christian Williams. 6 threes on the year. Tim, you pointed that out when he hit his first. He's 2 for 2 from 3 here to start this one today. It's an Indiana State team that is making progress. Greg Lansing here, 2 wins away from their win total last year, which is why Greg Lansing was encouraged where this team could end up in January and February. Garber with a quick spin, works his way into the double team.
I like that called play out of a timeout, giving Yarborough a one-on-one opportunity. And he's so talented at 6'6". This is basically like a post-up the way he's able to dribble that time. Not able to convert. Trying to post him up again, Yarborough. They missed him that time.
Evans, one for Fane. Underneath, and Rickman affects it. That was Kessinger. Indiana State fueling their offense. Off what they've been able to do on the other end of the floor. Barnes now late in the shot clock. Got Cooper Nice, and they didn't get it off. Nice looked up, I thought he saw the shot clock and gave it off to Holston instead.
Yeah, that's a ball that Jordan Barnes would not have passed earlier in the year. But the fact that he's been struggling, to Greg Lansing's telling his star guard right now, we need you to go out there and make a play. He was so good in non-conference play, but that confidence has kind of gone in and out as Missouri Valley Conference play has started. As a shooter, you just got to keep shooting.
Kessinger gives up the baseline, but Fane gives it up to Copeland. Lansing has said the issue with Barnes, they're using physical guards against him. Fane pokes that one away. It's a 3-on-1. Yarborough to Fane. Because of the success other teams have had with bigger guards, physical guys against Barnes, that was one of Dan Muller's keys defensively. Physical, both up front and on the back line. But they leave him open here. You want to give him a way to get hot again? Wide open on the way.
It was the cut there that freed open Barnes. Great cut by Nice. 2 guys went with him. And that's why Barnes, one of the best shooters in the history of Indiana State, was wide open.
Offense has been running largely through Phil Fane here in the early going. He'll get that ball through. He's got 8 early points.
And he's able to get to that left-hand hook as good as anyone in the country as far as creating space, and he has such a soft touch down low. You gotta force him right.
Talented freshman here, Nice. It'll be Holston into the body of Fane. And then Fane comes back and fouls him.
See, everyone sees Jordan Barnes make a wide open three, but watch Cooper Nice here. He frees him open with the cut. You're gonna see Nice, when he cuts, right? Wait for it, wait for it. There's the cut. Two guys go with him, wide open Barnes. See, if you don't have the ball, youngsters out there, by just moving or setting a screen, you can help your teammate. And on that play, Nice with the cut took two guys. Two guys went with him. Jordan Barnes, who normally never gets an open look, was wide open from the perimeter. That was all set up by Cooper Nice. Excellent cut there from the 6'4" freshman. You don't get too many replays where someone shows you a great cut.
But that's what Tim Doyle brings us here. Not just the hair, it's the cuts.
I feel like Tony Romo has made us all step up our game.
Yeah, you better.
I think he's getting the play calls in his ear or something.
Here's Keyshawn Evans again. Keyshawn Evans feeling good. Career 38% three-point shooter. Got 3 of them now. Tough entry pass. Somehow Nice gets it into Rickman, who doesn't have to finish. Another clean look for Barnes, who doesn't hit the rim.
Keyshawn Evans was supposed to be one of the best shooters in the entire Valley. He's letting everybody know, I'm back. A few games left for the senior from Fort Lauderdale. Top 10 all-time in Illinois State in threes made, but the reality was getting open looks and just was not able to convert. Now, he becomes that three-headed monster for Illinois State.
That's Yarborough, and Chastain saves it right back in to the Sycamores. Spinning his way down, drawing traffic. Drag that foot.
Having at Loyola, just because we mentioned them, Lucas Williamson's been dinged up a little bit, and he's affected their team greatly.
Here's Evans, elevated, drawing rain and connecting on his 4th three. I think Indiana State agrees with you. If Evans keeps hitting shots, this is a tough opponent they're looking at.
Well, now that sets up driving lanes for Yarborough. Lots fading to operate down low. Changes the complexion of the team. Evans all over the place now. He's running into cameramen.
Here's Yarborough pulling up over Nice.
It's not a great shot there, Darren. It's a great shot in like July at the park, not in a Division I college basketball.
How about that one from Cooper Nice, the highly touted freshman out of Indiana?
That might have been equally bad of shot from Nice there. On the flip side, Keyshawn Evans, the senior who maybe he has 1,000 points in the back of his mind. He's going to have a hot streak towards the end of the year, but right now the confidence level off the charts.
Dan Muller was worried that today would be the day Jordan Barnes got on track. Instead, it's the day that his guard, Keyshawn Evans.
I love when they flash Yarborough right in there. Get him the ball in the middle.
Copeland missed him though. Here's Copeland now with the scissor kick. It went halfway down. Redbirds are responding to what Dan Muller said. They are being physical on this end of the floor, aren't they?
No doubt about it. Rickman likes that physicality.
And he went through a double team to score.
You can't keep me that long. Feed the horse.
Rickman coming off one of his more productive games, the 12 points against Valparaiso. Valpo is tied for first in the league when Indiana State beat it. Kick ball.
Mondre Rickman on the last bucket. Look how many guys he's got around him. Doesn't care. He's able to get to this spot. 6'9" senior at 260 pounds. The third touch.
I don't know how many times you have Rickman called feathery with a touch at 255. But Greg Lansing says when we play well, he plays well. And I'm not sure if it's vice versa or not. There you go. The pass into the middle of the zone for Yarborough, just off the mark, but Fane is right there. Fane.
You know what I loved about that was the head fake. You know, once in a while, guys used to want to block my shots so bad that I could just give them like an eyebrow fake.
Yes.
Just kind of just move my head a little bit, but that time Fane did a great job showing the ball. And then 9 times out of 10, this is a three-point play that he's going for.
Typically, you're told as a big guy, don't you dare bring the ball down. Don't bring it to your waist or below. But after that head fake, the good hard power dribble.
And here's an element of Fane's game that he's massively improved. He's up nearly 20% from the free throw line. And he made a game-winning free throw against Southern Illinois in a tie game. He went to the line and buried 1 of 2, and that's all they needed to knock off the Salukis at home. And he told me post-game, if I was 2 years younger, I would have never wanted to shoot those free throws. Instead, stepped up and buried the game winner.
A little bit afraid at the line, huh?
Yeah, I've been there.
Hine jumps in front of the pass, and Rickman's the last one to touch it. Give Matt Hine, the junior out of Windermere, Florida, a lot of credit for that one.
Yeah, Rickman had the mismatch there, and Hine just outworked him.
7th turnover now for the Sycamores. It's about half their average. Slipped out of his hands. I'm not sure if Key got a piece of it, but Barnes and Hine go diving after it, and it will be Indiana State ball with the foul on Matt Hine.
You can see Dan Moore got to be happy with his team's energy and effort. That's a pass that you're not going to want to be in film right now. Re-air that one. But check out Hine diving all over the floor. He's fighting Rickman the previous play, and the senior. Those floor burns. Second foul, though. He's not probably going to bench for the rest of the half.
And the intensity kind of mirroring that of their head coach Dan Muller. Barnes navigating his way in, and the defense collapsed on him. And Williams turned it over.
Greg Lansing's telling Christian Williams, you've made a couple of those. Be ready to shoot.
4th turnover for Indiana State in the last 4 minutes. Especially with the defense entirely in the lane for a split second. Copeland no-looks one down to Tinsley in the corner. And it'll stay on this end of the floor.
You can see Dan Muller's getting Malik Yarborough a rest here. We got the under 4 timeout going, so look for Illinois State to go to Fane and Evans in this spot. They're 2 most productive offensive players on the floor.
And Rickman's not on the floor to defend him. Fane. Kessinger's done a good job when he's been in there. Copeland, Kessinger gets a hand on. Barnes used that screen from Kessinger and still doesn't have it. Kessinger down to the floor with Fane, and it will stay on this end of the floor. The tight Missouri Valley Conference team selection in the Valley. He was 2nd team last year.
See Malik Yarborough back in the game. That one possession he set out ended up being a Redbirds turnover.
A couple of turnovers in their last few possessions. Same can be said for Indiana State. Rickman and Yarborough battling, and Yarborough will get called for the foul.
A good point there, Darren. Sycamores already have 8 turnovers to his game. The whole entire game last out in their very impressive win over Valpo.
The other thing that jumped out to me about the game against Valparaiso, starters had just 44 of their 70 points. They got a lot of production from their bench, from Neese to Kessinger. Key had a nice game as well, but he misfires from 3, and then the Sycamores commit a bad foul. That's Clayton Hughes' second. Hughes back in the lineup after not playing in that Valpo game.
Evans has really been the story in this game. 14 first-half points for the senior guard.
Illinois State has led the whole way. Got to stay on this end of the floor.
He starts making shots, Keyshawn Evans. Look out. As Dan Muller told us before the season started, he thought they were going to go out and get 80 points every single game. And that just has not been the case. Their offense has been consistent. Really, their entire play has been inconsistent this year.
You've seen it in this game, not just this year. Yarborough turns it over. This team started 5 for 5 today, Tim, since they're 6 for 19.
Yarborough didn't like that call. Dan Muller didn't like that call. Greg Lansing on the other sideline loved that call. Only their 4th turnover, though.
But 4 in the last couple of possessions. Here's Nice, originally signed with Butler, never played with them. Number 4 at the top of your screen. And it'll be Key heading to the line. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Lauren Shahadi and John Rothstein in studio. Scores and highlights around college basketball. AT&T at the half.
John Rothstein's going to tell you who needs to stay humble in college basketball and stay hungry as well. One of his early morning tweets that I follow very closely. It's almost like an alarm clock for me. I think John and I are on the same sleep schedule now.
He's got the what he's going to watch for, the humble, the hungry, and then the motivational keys. Just to keep you humble and hungry.
I sometimes print them out and put them on my mirror before I start my day.
Is that right?
It's totally false.
Copeland, nice entry pass to Yarborough, but he can't finish with the right.
Indiana State's doing a better job of making the catch in life more difficult for what I believe is the most talented player in the Valley.
Who tugs that one last? Doesn't matter. Barnes has it before the sideline. Barnes has been looking to distribute today, like he did in the last game, more than his own shot. And then the drive inside Kessinger rips it away from Yarborough.
Kessinger has given them some solid minutes. Darren Lane touched upon his defense on fame. He's diving on loose balls. He's giving them some great energy. No points here.
That's their last 5 shots. Let's see a touch pass. Again. That's 5 threes in the half. Down the board. Now it's Fane up over Kessinger. You know what's underrated about Yarborough? He's willing to pass the ball.
He's got great vision. What a great pass to Phil Fane. Pause the game-winning free throws. A pick and roll. He thread the needle.
Look out. Key's got the finish from Barnes.
Copeland was sleeping on that play. Great look, perfect pass. Whenever you throw an alley-oop, like if I was throwing you an alley-oop, okay, you got to put it as close to the rim as possible.
Yeah, and give me the trampoline to get there. And then I'll finish it for you. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, you can see, watch Copeland here, he falls asleep. And that was the difference in that play. Wasn't the prettiest of alley-oops, but at the end of the day, it got it done. Indiana State trying to crawl back. Yarborough in a post-up situation.
And it'll be Evans who lobs it for Fane. Sycamore's got him on one end. Illinois State comes back with a emphatic answer. Then got a step on Copeland and is fouled as he gets to the rim.
why Phil Fain is open here is because Keyshawn Evans has made some shots in this game. And that's just an ideal pass. We talked about the perfect alley-oop pass, but the fact that Evans has gone out there and buried 4 threes, look how he demands attention as a shooter now. And he struggled all year long. Perfect dime to Phil Fain.
And that's why you feel that this team, Illinois State, is as good, maybe the best in the Valley, when Evans is hitting a shot.
Correct.
It's been the Evans and Fain show today. They've got 12 of the 14 field goals for the Redbirds. Evans, that's one little out of his range.
I liked that he shot it, though. He saw Kevin Durant taking a half-court shot. Maybe get a chance to grab an offensive rebound. So a lot of empty possessions. And what I noticed on the offensive end, when they move Indiana State, Greg Lansing likes to run that motion offense. They've gotten good shots, but too many times standing around on the offensive end.
They'll lob one over the defense, and Yarborough can't handle it. Yarborough's a little bit banged up. Hasn't been completely 100% in practice these last couple of days. Looking to distribute with 4 assists right now, but scoring-wise, is that a key for Illinois State in this half?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, Evans has picked up the slack, like you said there, partner. But Malik Yarborough only 1 of 6 from the field.
There's Williams. Illinois State was picked to finish 2nd in the Valley. And right now, this is a conference that is about as tight as you can find heading into February. Copeland had a step on Williams at the baseline, then flips it over his head with the reverse.
Copeland's more known as a 3-point shooter, so you can see the defense overzealous there. Half of Copeland's made field goals this year have been threes. Tough drive.
Tough defense from Yarborough. A little bit of Fort Rickman there.
This what makes him so dangerous. Such a great passer on the open floor.
Extra pass finds Yarborough once again, and he just slams that one against the rimmed glass. Fain, a little late getting back. Rickman can't take advantage of it.
Keyshawn Evans, now that he's made some shots, watch how this changes the offense for Illinois State. First of all, no double now with Evans.
And just shows that double team. And how often has a team this year through his career said, all right, let's take out Evans and let's see if Yarborough can get on track. He said a little bit more to Jordan Barnes. He did hit a 3 in the first half, then he hits his first one. A little teardrop here in the second.
First half really mirrors both of these teams. Really mirrors the entire Valley. Peaks and valleys, both from offensive and defensive standpoint. We've seen different styles of defenses, a little bit of everything.
Malik Yarborough, that's a tough finish over the double team from Rickman. We're going through the scoring runs and droughts at the half. Nice strong take there from Key, and there's really nothing that shows that. There was hot streaks and cold streaks, but nothing too extensive on either end. Malik Yarborough only 1 bucket in the first tip.
Yeah, I think he settled for too many jump shots. Here's where he's at his best, when he's using that athleticism. The senior from Zion, Illinois, he's able to get to his power hands. I think he has plenty of potential. At 6'6", I think he's going to need to shore up that jump shot a little bit. I think he's the most talented player in the Valley. He can do a little bit of everything, but in the NBA now, you got to be able to make open shots. Certainly has the athleticism to guard as well.
Copeland hits the cutting Fain. That one's going to go against Kessinger underneath. What position would Yarborough be in the pros?
Probably a D&3 guy.
Okay.
So right now, the defense, certainly the athleticism at 6'6" and a great wingspan. The jump shot, 40% from 3, that's where he needs to be in college. But I just love that he's got a really quick twitch. He's someone who athletically can make that transition to the next level. Fain's going to make a lot of money playing basketball as well, just because catches everything, really good athlete, works extremely hard. In about 2 or 3 years, he's going to step out and start expanding his offensive game. A little predictable now in the offensive end, but still a really solid college player.
Mentioned before, he didn't play basketball until he was a junior in high school. After he grew 8 inches in about 2 years, he was a football guy. Here's Clayton Hughes, the sophomore from Jackson, Tennessee, his first bucket in a couple of games.
Hughes is streaky in the game earlier this year against San Jose State, where he went 9 of 10 from the field, 23 points.
Copeland circles that one out. Kessinger didn't field Chastain. That is all on Chastain to keep that alive. Hines in trouble there. Fain bails him out. Sizing up Kessinger, who's going to pick up his second foul here in the last, what, 30 seconds?
Check out Matt Chastain, the redshirt sophomore, just outworking Kessinger. Chastain's from the town, Leroy, Illinois. Population in Leroy, 3,200. There are some high schools that have that.
They have more. Plenty more. Fain now, instead of backing down Kessinger, he shows him that little left hook.
He's able to go to that right shoulder. It's like Mortal Kombat. Finish him.
It's the reason why he is one of the best field goal percentages in school history. Hasn't been disappointing today at all.
No, I think the key is the setup. Watch how he sells that he's going to try to get to the middle. That does just enough to give him a little bit of edge. Then he's so good with that left hand. That's 6, 8 feet away. Soft touch for the senior.
Gonna win it momentarily, and then got 1 foot into the backcourt. I think Lansing wanted more hustle there from Hughes. Holston quickly in for it. This is a luxury for Illinois State. Idowu, the freshman, he does not look like a freshman. He is well put together at 6'9", 240 out of Australia.
He's also a black belt in Taekwondo.
I got so eager to say Australia. Probably Florida, but that's a 3 from William Tinsley. And it's the largest lead of the afternoon here for the Redbirds.
This is danger zone time. You can sense it in the arena. Indiana State, I'd go to Barnes, try to get your electric junior going.
Instead, it's Key, who's turned away. That's a goaltend on Tinsley. So far, it's
an NBA player as well. Bob Heaton had some big makes that year. Larry Bird started his career at what college? Indiana. Didn't last a month there. Ends up playing for Coach Hodges at Indiana State. Working in sanitation for a few weeks before he went down to Terre Haute.
Evans yet to connect from 3 in this half, and we got a foul here.
Basically, Larry Bird was who I idolized for the first 20 years of my life.
You know, it all worked out for him.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. He had an okay career.
And Red Auerbach, the genius, he drafted Bird when he had 1 year left of eligibility. Almost pulled a fast one. How many GMs dropped the ball not drafting Bird? Instead, he got him, waited a year, and it ended up being a wait that was well worth it.
Basketball Encyclopedia's Tim Doyle played his ball at Northwestern. I'm Darren Goldwater, and that's the freshman Idowu out of Florida, knocking out of bounds.
Yeah, I can sit here and do the whole second half. Just a boy, a ball, and a dream. Larry Bird's life story.
You know who went to the same high school as Larry Bird?
No.
Oh, I see. Our producer's jumping in. Tony DeSanti, I misunderstood him. I guess Rick Pitino went to the same high school you did, huh?
Correct.
But not Larry Bird. Sometimes we can look smart. Other times,
French Lick, Indiana, Oyster Bay, New York, worlds apart.
back to this one here. 5 minutes gone in the second half. The lead was momentarily at 10. That's the largest it's been. Hine bounces it back to Idowu. two starters on the floor defensively right now for the Redbirds. Tough one there for Key. And Kessinger can't handle it.
And normally this is Malik Yarborough and Phil Fain. Instead, Hine and Idowu running the two-man game to perfection. Watch this pass. Wrap it around. Nice work. Indiana State has thrown the kitchen sink at Illinois State. Now they're in 1-3-1 zone.
And they leave Idowu open underneath of that zone. That's the 5th assist now for Yarborough. Listen to this arena. Illinois State on top in all of that. Key getting fronted in there by Evans, and we'll have a foul as the entry pass comes in.
I think this really comes down to the guy taking out the ball right now, Jordan Barnes. Had such an outstanding non-conference season. He's had a tough time since conference play has started.
Stayed in bounds after Tinsley deflected it. Here's Evans with Barnes riding him. It'll be high, halfway down for 3. Indiana State got a break on that one. Very few stretches have looked comfortable offensively for Indiana State. Some of that could be the struggle of Jordan Barnes, who collects the foul here. It's his second.
Matt Hine has been all over the court today. Goes to the bench now, but he's been flying and throwing his body around. He's bumped. Not everybody's going to be the leading scorer. Not everybody can be Malik Yarborough. There's a place for you on the floor. You can sell the coach that you need me out there. I'll give you a glue guy, and that's what Hine is for Illinois State.
You got Tinsley, brings experience in off the bench, and Chastain, who's kind of that starter. That Hine is coming off the bench, that energy guy. There's Williams drawing the foul. This one will go against Zach Copeland. It'll be his second.
I think that's the issue with Illinois State is you have Yarborough, you have Fain, you have two guys that are top-tier players in this league. All right, who's going to be that third guy? Today it's been Keyshawn Evans, hence to get a double-digit lead. Because you have other pieces that really understand your role, Darren, like you talked about, but they need that other third scorer, and now they become very difficult to guard.
Iowa transfer here, Christian Williams. Played over 50 games with the Hawkeyes before coming here to Indiana State. Had a decent first half. Like his team, relatively quiet here in the second. Redbirds overall have won 4 of their last 6 games, although they dropped one to Bradley the last time out. There's Fain. Rickman lost it off his leg as he was fouled.
Greg Lance is going to say he can't put Fain into the left hand. Rickman was fortunate that Fain wasn't able to convert because normally he was really shot.
How tough is it for a team when you've got a guy as proficient as Barnes was in the non-conference, and then suddenly the scoring numbers fall off? How hard is it to adjust?
Yeah, now everyone's going to kind of redefine their role. I was asked to get 8 points a game, now I'm being asked to get 14. That's a big difference, especially mid-season.
Great D here. Evans stuck right with him, got a piece of the shot, and then collects the loose ball. Fain got fouled.
Astra's at-large conversation. Here's what you need to do. Run the table, get to the final, and now you get a shot.
And then only a shot of the CAA.
Because, hey, early season loss to Marshall. I got to see the Thundering Herd last night. They lost by 50 to Southern Miss. So you lose a game like that to Marshall, that kind of hurts your net. But they're a team led by a star that if they got in, they could be really dangerous.
That one doesn't bounce Barnes' way, but the ball will following the hops on the rim. So Indiana State will keep it. Back to Hofstra real quick. in the CAA, they're making the push, but the tournament is down in Charleston, the backyard of the College of Charleston. It's gonna be tough for Hofstra to go down there and win that tournament.
William and Mary was a team that I had high hopes for. Justin Pierce, Nathan Knight. They have not lived up to the billing, but so far Hofstra has been all that and some.
Indiana State trying to find some rhythm offensively that's been somewhat consistent throughout this game. They've missed their last 4 shots. Rickman's in a ton of trouble. Missed it with the left.
He got away with a push-off there. And a wall. They still missed. The basketball gods were looking down on him and said, those are illegal.
Yes, you did not earn that the right way. Yarbrough doubled underneath now.
Yeah, see, Fain is not a threat from out there yet.
No, but he's a threat from right in there. Rickman will be called with the foul.
Rickman's not happy with the call, but he got away with one here. Check out the arm extension right there. And let's see how he extends that arm. He kind of throws Fain out of the way right there, and then his shot goes begging. Fain's next phase, now he's become an improved free throw shooter, is he has to be a capable 15-foot jump shooter. Hey, not every big guy's gonna be able to feel comfortable to step out from 3. But if he can learn that mid-range game, now he becomes even more dangerous in the pick and roll. Yeah, I mean, he's shot hundreds and thousands of free throws. That's what you gotta do as far as mid-range jump shots. But like you talked about before, Darren, he's fairly new to the sport.
Didn't play it until junior year. He was a football guy, he was a track guy.
Now, if I'm a scout, I love that. Because now the ceiling for him to grow, he doesn't have any bad habits. He could be taught things.
He said he's pretty happy that he picked up basketball. It also helped that he grew 8 inches. Now he's got a step, and Rickman fouls him. Not a terrible foul there from Rickman. Prevents the easy one.
His movements are next level type, meaning he runs the floor like a guard. He's got great hands. I think that's his best attribute. He catches everything. You know, he could be a Clint Capella type put in the right system. But the fact that he's improved his free throw percentage by 20 points, that shows that A, he's willing to work, and 2, he has that capability. Some guys are just always going to be bad. Shaquille O'Neal, you can work with him for days. His hands and his form, it's just not going to work. What Fain has done, he's made himself a willing free throw shooter, and that's going to really help him in the long run.
That was just his 3rd miss from the line today. Dan Muller told me today, look, obviously everything is going to run through Yarbrough and Fain, and with Yarbrough only sitting on 5 points here, it has. It's run through Fain and Evans, as Yarbrough's played the part more of a distributor. Important stretch right here for Indiana State. Get this thing down to 6, 8.
Well, look at Illinois State's defense. They're just hounding Indiana State. There's just no good looks. And that is a testament to Dan Muller's group. I watched them a ton on film. This reminds me a lot of the Evansville game where they really frustrated the Purple Aces. Held Evansville with 46 points.
Evans almost threw that one to the rim, trying to get it to Fain. Numbers aren't there for Holston. Key, he's been looking for the shot. Quick step around Evans at the top.
That's a guy who can clearly get buckets. Over 3,200 points in high school. The 10th most in the history of Tennessee high school basketball. That's a lot of buckets. 3,200 points.
In fact, he's on the floor with another proficient scorer, top 10 in Indiana history, the freshman Nice. But it's all Phil Fain. 5th 20-point game of the year. That gets him out to 22. The lead matches the large.
We spotlighted him from the game. That's just outstanding producing rather from our guy, Tony DeSanti in the truck. Marcy Kepner with the shots in this game. That duo, oh boy, getting some trouble with those two.
Doing their best to make us look good. Not always easy.
Marcy's really the saint. He'll sit next to Tony for that long. Oh boy, good double pay.
Freshman Doe in the game now, but Hines gonna do it himself. I like what we're seeing out of Matt Hines today. Here's Key. Idowu comes over to help out. The tip's not there for Kessinger. Five teams around the top of the valley still fighting for that top bid. You can even stretch it down farther, maybe the top 7, 8 teams. Everything's still out there for them to get that top seed in Arch Madness. And we've already seen.
Your eyes do not need help. How do I know that? I was there. It was unbelievable.
It's hard to believe for someone who wasn't there as well.
You know, that word drives me crazy.
You used it.
Because that actually is unbelievable. When somebody like makes a driving layup, they go, that's an unbelievable play. Very believable. It happens many times in a game, okay? Guy hits a long three-pointer at the end of the shot clock. That was unbelievable. Happens. Loyola losing by scoring 35 points and only having 8 rebounds, that merits unbelievable.
I agree. What happened? You were there.
What happened was Dana Ford decided to take the air out of the ball. I'm serious. He milked the shot clock down, and then Missouri State went out there and made double-digit threes. Loyola lost all confidence. No Lucas Williamson. It was just like a perfect storm. Now, Porter Moser is not going to have me announce any more games this year because I've seen Loyola twice, and both times they were just flat out awful.
Not the case for Illinois State today. You've already said when Evans plays well, it might be the best team in the Valley. Well, Yarborough now with a couple of buckets this half, and you're getting that three-headed monster going now for the Redbirds.
Are you an unbelievable guy?
No. I'm quite believable, I think. Yarborough might be able to throw that in for him.
He's got such a unique skill set, and put the ball on the floor in 6'6", smooth. The game comes easy to him. The key word with him, if I had to describe his game, he needs to be consistent. Like the last 2 games, comes in, has 26 points. Now today, yes, helping the team in other ways, but where is that consistency going to be? If he gets that, and if Illinois State gets hot at the right time, I wouldn't be surprised if they got into the tournament and won a game. Upset somebody. I wouldn't be surprised they get into the Missouri Valley Conference tournament and lose the first game. And I think that's the storyline for the whole league, Darren.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's the way the league has been, and you just referenced that Loyola loss. And even Indiana State, with this being a one-bit league, some of the losses right now, as tight as this league is, I'm not one for moral victories, but you can learn from them, and it can make you better and have you prepared for the tournament. There's Evans high up over Rickman. Fain doesn't have it, but he'll get another shot, and he'll get fouled.
Well, the difference in this game has been the 6'8" Fain. Look at him stay with it here. Brings it down. He's able to get to that power hand, and Phil Fain bringing the pain in normal. See, when he gets to that right shoulder, it is just game over.
He's been the dominant player in this game. And Dan Muller said earlier today he was concerned about the size and the physicality down low. He was concerned with Fain and his ability to stay on the floor. He's fouled out in the last 2 games. But right from the jump, Tim, it's been Phil Fain, a little bit of Keyshawn Evans mixed in.
Well, I think that Fain can bring that consistency when Evans is making shots. Now the defense has to stay true on the perimeter, and that gives him a lot of one-on-one opportunities. I think the best part of his game today has been his counter moves. We know what his go-to move is going to be to get to that left hand, but the fact that he's kind of kept the defense honest, that really have been at his will. And it's been a career day for the California native.
To contrast that, Rickman, who started underneath, has just 4. Indiana State has trailed from the get-go. Illinois State has not gone wire to wire all year. 6:40 to go. They're in pretty good shape. What's the key for Indiana State? To get rid of chip their way back now. 6.5 to go. But get back. Got to start on this end of the floor. Easy two for Tinsley.
The energy just has not been there from the Sycamores. The offense has been flat, and credit Illinois State's defense. They've made life really tough. But this has been, what, the 3rd time that Indiana State has gotten backdoored. Another alley-oop opportunity. We've seen time and time again. This time Tinsley gets the friendly roll, but Rickman's in no man's land, and I've been there before. It was February 14th at Michigan, and there was a pass that was thrown over my head, and I thought it was going to be a turnover. And as I turned around, there was a young gentleman who jumped over my head. And sure enough, it was a top 3 play that night on television.
You got posterized on television.
Correct. And I actually got benched the next 2 games because the dunk was so bad, and my coach told me that. But I remember thinking as the pass was going over my head, like angels were singing, and then they weren't singing because I got dunked on, and it was the top play across television.
There's a lot going on under that hair of yours, too. There's a lot. At least you were only beaten behind you once in your entire career at Northwestern, so that's good.
We always have those slow motion, like life movements, where everything went in slow motion. That play still wakes me up in the middle of the night.
Who dunked it?
It was Brett Petway. He was known as Air Georgia on those Michigan teams. He was left-handed. He had a bald head.
You're getting more frustrated as you talk about it.
He scarred me for life. Want to know something? If he's out there, Brad, I hope you're having a great day. But it's about 14 minutes of my life that you ruined.
And then the next 2 games, when you were benched.
I was benched.
Yarborough started his career at St. Louis, if you're unfamiliar with his story. Almost 60 games there. He was an all-rookie team member in the A-10. And then when it came time to transfer, he came here, where his dad was a star in the late 70s. Top 30 in the all-time scoring list here at Illinois State. Fane read that one. It's about the only thing he hasn't done today is come up with a steal.
What a total team effort this has been. From a defensive standpoint to a balanced team effort. You know, Illinois State has relied on Yarborough so much in this game that I think Dan Muller can take something from the development of others.
Here come 3 blue jerseys around Fane, and I think they'll get Holston #1 with the foul. They do.
Sycamore foul charge to Alonte Holston, his 2nd personal, 10th team foul. Phil Fane on the line, shooting 2.
Been a frustrating day for Greg Lansing. Just hasn't had an answer here for Phil Fane, who is approaching his career high.
William Tinsley returns to the red line.
Tim, believe it or not, 20-point lead, the largest for Illinois State against a D1 team this year. You talk about putting it all together off a bad loss. Illinois State has done just that. Evans, open. I think half the arena thought that was going down. Kessinger now tries to give Fane a little bit of his own medicine, and Hughes underneath will have the 2.
Hughes.
Further proof of the balance of the Redbirds. Tim Evans hasn't scored in this half. 5 threes in the first. Nice hands. You keep touching on the hands of Fane. That ball is halfway through his legs. Got a foul underneath anyway. And it's against the Redbirds.
Redbird foul charge to Matt Chastain's third personal.
That's the third now on Chastain.
Zach Copeland returns to the Redbird line.
Now this is a chance for Dan Muller to get some continuity when his squad does not have Malik Yarborough on the floor. And try to figure it out from an offensive standpoint to find some roles when your star player's out of the game. Look how active Illinois State is good with their hands.
That zone moving very well. Hughes gets his second bucket in as many trips down the floor.
I'd be surprised if we see Yarborough again. He's sitting down right over here. He's rubbing his knee pretty good.
At the moment, no sense to bring him back in. Comfortably on top, less than 4 to go. Coast to coast, there goes Key. And Dan Muller is not happy about it. He might have a 14-point lead, but
State.
out of that timeout. Muller has brought Yarborough back onto the floor. Chastain was just trying to get him the ball here.
You've got to make sure you win the game, first of all, but I think Muller, his original thought was to leave Yarborough out of the game, but now you got to bring him in to try to close it out.
Underneath, Kessinger knocks it free. And it'll stay with Illinois State. Shot clock inside of 10.
And you could see Malik Yarborough was a little banged up in this game. He wasn't as aggressive trying to drive. He settled for a lot of three-pointers, which he can make, but that's not really the strength of his game. But he has helped in other ways. Handful of rebounds, 5 assists, which lead the team.
Chastain got Hughes up in the air and got the foul call.
Well, Chastain's an interesting story. I talked about him being from Leroy, Illinois. Population 3,200. Digest that for a second. But he started his career at Loyola Chicago. He got a waiver transfer because he felt that Loyola Chicago was a little intimidating, a big city. He wanted to come back down where he played high school basketball at Leroy, scored over 2,000 points. But I just wonder, do you think he conditions? Because it's a little frizzy. I know it's cold outside, but you got to get a little more conditioner in there. Take it for someone who knows.
So you said conditions, and I think 9 out of 10 people thought conditioning, physical conditioning. You're talking about the hair.
Yes, you can't just shampoo. You got to condition, at least once in a while.
How much product do you go through a given week?
Look at that hair. You ever see like people who are follically challenged talk about when they were in college? Oh, when I was in college, the hair I used to have.
Follically challenged. Indiana State's full court pressure only started coming back from the under 4 timeout here as they had just a little bit of momentum. The intensity dropped for the Redbirds. Their coach Muller got fired up, called the timeout. Just keeping focused here for the stretch. Here's Yarborough with the right hand now. It never hit the rim. Barnes attacks Yarborough. Chastain from behind. And a foul on this end.
Now, we talked about the hair before, and this time the athlete says, give me some of that. He was head and shoulders above the rim.
I see where you're going with that. Dan Muller told me earlier today, look, he's the best athlete on the team.
It's 2-1, okay? Shampoo and conditioner.
Have you ever been so excited as you are right now, sitting on a basketball broadcast talking about hair products, not just hair?
Hey, you come to the great state of Illinois and you drive up and down the freeway. A very famous linebacker is lined up all over the freeways. He once was bald and now a full head of hair. Anything is possible. If we could put someone on the moon, we should have a better plan to get hair.
Here's Hughes. agree with what you said about this Indiana State team. The energy clearly has been eclipsed by that of Illinois State, mostly from the jump tonight.
These are the dog days of the season. Here's why. Right? Everyone has envisions of March Madness and stuff, and you got a veteran team on the road. Illinois State was embarrassed their last game when they gave up 85 points to Bradley. I think just being fired up to play, because like you said, it's a one-bid league, and home teams come into games with a lot more to prove. Last night I saw Southern Miss score 100 points against Marshall because they were fired up to play Marshall. Marshall won Conference USA last year. As for Marshall, they had no interest in being in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. They lost 100 to 50. The score was 100 to 50.
It's a tough night. Hine gets the timeout.
A 2-hour broadcast on what a great college basketball player he is.
Solid little demo reel here today for Phil Fain. Indiana State has the ball. They decided to call the 10-second violation, which is the right call. There was 20 seconds on the shot clock when the timeout was called, as Barnes cradles that thing to the rim and has a three-point try.
You know, earlier in the year, and this is why Dan Muller put Yarborough back out there until he felt like it was secure. Illinois State lost the game at Valpo, which they led by 10 points with 2 minutes left. Missed free throws, some turnovers, and then a half-court shot gave the Crusaders a win, and I believe really turned around Valpo's season. They were in first place for the majority of the Missouri Valley Conference season, but that loss, I think, stayed in the back of Dan Muller's head. He goes, hey, we're going to finish out this game.
This one would have been a heartbreaker to take if you eventually dropped it. And Tinsley rolls that one in. Muller just a rolling timeout. Get a couple guys off the bench here.
Tinsley with the basket. Give the assist to Matt Hine.
Matt Hine has been the ultimate glue guy today. He's dropped some sweet dimes, diving on the floor. I think that's what Dan Muller's going to take away from this game, besides the performance of Evans in the first half and Fain throughout the 40 minutes. Other guys have stepped up. You could say the best 40-minute performance, and that's what Illinois State has kind of lacked this year, that consistency from the Redbirds.
They led this thing by 20. Largest lead against the D1 opponent this year. Meanwhile, for Indiana State, key moving forward is simple as getting Barnes going,
or figuring out who else is going to get going. You know, when your best player is going through struggles like this, when he's had 5 games where he's had 20 plus or more, and he's your, you know, he comes into this game averaging 10 points in conference play, shooting under 20% from 3. If you're Greg Lansing, you got to make some adjustments.
Nice. Got the roll, bounced in the 3. And the redshirt freshman who originally started his career at Butler. Top 10 in Indiana high school scoring history. That's impressive. Illinois State will win this. They're going to go wire to wire for the first time this year. As my partner just said, probably the best 40 minutes that the Redbirds have played this season. And they did so without a lot of point production from Malik Yarbrough. It was Fain, it was Evans in the first half, and a fitting way for this second half to close. The deep one from Copeland. Illinois State hit their first 5 shots. Evans, who really been struggling from 3 in the games. Muller just waiting for that practice Keyshawn to come back out. He saw it in the first half. And they cruise 76-62.